Hi, everyone.
Everybody. We're the
Sunshine Stitchers. Plus, where's she at?
I'm Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher.
She's right here. She can't be everywhere. She's right here.
She is today.
I'm EJ.
I'm Gary.
I'm Shelia.
And I'm Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher.
There you go. All righty. And
I'm Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. How's the kitties?
They're good. It's nap time, so we're good. We got like an hour.
Okay.
They're cats. They take nap time.
Yeah.
Every day is nap time.
But usually it's almost 10 o'clock. Like 9:30 to 11 is pretty safe for getting things done without interruption.
yeah.
Yeah. This kind of stuff especially. One of the kittens thinks that Zoom is cat time, so he probably will make an appearance at some point.
Okay.
All right. So we're very happy today that Nicole Buckeye Stitcher is joining us. We had the privilege of actually meeting and spending some time with Nicole last year at StitchCon.
Yeah.
So very excited. So
yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks so much for asking me. I was very honored.
and I'm still working on that selfie thing, but my arm's too short.
Well, we got to do 6 feet now, so you're going to have to redo your selfie. You're going to have to get a selfie stick.
6 feet from your phone?
Yeah. I'll have to get you a stick, Gary.
Okay.
No, let's not do that. That's going to be in everybody's face. Boom.
Yeah. It's a bad combination.
Yeah, there's some coordination here.
Yeah. Okay, so Nicole, how long have you been stitching?
My aunt taught me how to stitch when I was about 10-ish. And then I quit for a while, like through high school and college. And then started again, probably started really intensely when I moved to Cincinnati. And that was about 15 or 16 years ago, because there's a shop here that is close to me and was pretty active. So probably, from the beginning, 35 years, but really just the last 15 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that for a lot of us who started stitching earlier, I started in the early 90s. And Gary started younger in his life. Say
Early, mid 70s.
In utero, he's like, what? When he came out, he started stitching.
Yeah.
Hey, I had to sew up when I left.
Oh gosh. But the advent of the stores specializing in specifically counted cross stitch. And then lately in the last 10, 15 years, all of the designers and the fabric dyers, thread dyers that have come into the market. And then finally, I think the last thing to make a huge difference has been the internet, the online, where the small businesses have been able to enter into the market and make huge impact.
Right.
Well, and I also think that the technology has helped the designers interact more and more with the stitchers.
Yeah.
Before it was designers and the cross stitch or the distributors, and that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very cool. Do you have any favorite designers, Nicole?
I like Kathy Haberman a lot, hands-on design. I like that she uses a lot of color without it being real wild colors, because I'm not one extreme or the other. I like a lot of the Italian designers, so Primitive Hair, Sub Rosa, Madame Chantilly. She's got really cute stuff. So those are some of my favorites. I don't do a whole lot of prim. I'm not a sampler stitcher. I have a few things that tend to be more primitive, but it's not my typical style. So I tend to go for a little bit of color without being too crazy.
I think whenever I think of color, I always think of Satsuma Street.
Yeah, that's color.
Yeah.
I like some of her things, but I don't know that I could ever stitch it because I don't know what I would do with it. It wouldn't fit anywhere. It would be, if I did a small piece that I could just sit out for a holiday, it wouldn't something that I would have up all the time or rotate through, when it wasn't seasonal.
Mm-hmm. It's the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff that I've stitched that are still like rolled up in the corner somewhere, but I enjoyed stitching it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not ready for it yet.
I know we certainly met you the first time through Flosstube.
Mm-hmm.
And,
first like commenter, first time everything. She had something of the week. Like whatever of the week.
mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Oh, Gary, my favorite of Gary's.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I was like, look at all this stuff that they're putting up there. This one's my favorite. And then the next week, this one's my favorite. So I was like, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, actually, the first time I went to Keepsakes, before we did Flosstube and everything, and I'm like new to the watching Flosstube, and I'm like, I go in, it's like, Buckeye Stitcher's not here.
No.
and she said no, she has a job.
I actually work really close to Keepsakes, which is sad that I'm not there more. I just, when all their stuff is going on, I'm usually at work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we're so glad that you're with us, and I'm sure we'll have more questions as we go along.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Megan May, one of the OG Flosstubers who joined us last week. We had so much fun. It was thrilling to hear how Flosstube got started and named, and that was one of those special moments, I think.
Yeah.
And so many of our viewers commented and appreciated hearing that history and actually getting to know her, because with so many Flosstubers now, it's hard to keep track of the folks who've been around for a while, who really got it going, got us all interested in it.
Yeah.
Like you, Nicole, I mean, you've been around for a long time. How long have you been doing Flosstube?
I did my first Flosstube in December of 2016.
Wow.
So almost 4 years.
Yeah. So you were an early adopter.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I think a few people that started like at the end of that, we call ourselves the class of 2016. Got in.
Oh, that's cute. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of our viewers commented that Megan showed a specialty stitch piece that she had done. And the viewer indicated that she actually found the chart. It's a free PDF through Lakeside Needlecraft, if anybody is interested. She didn't find it where Megan had mentioned, but she did find it on Lakeside Needlecraft.
The specialty, the one that was framed in brown, right?
Yeah.
The specialty stitches in blue.
Remember? Yeah. And Megan did make a comment on someone's question about that piece and the correct location.
Yeah. But we wanted to make sure we got it out to everybody. And another viewer reminded me where I first saw the Erica Michaels sampler book. It was while watching Jen's Stitching Niche. I saw her finish the Erica Michaels sampler book and was completely enthralled.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, oh, I gotta do that someday. And then I went to a retreat. Erica Michaels, which isn't her real name, but she was there. And as part of her traveling show, she had it. And she must have thought I was a crazy. I mean, an out and out. Because first she had the model, and because I'm sure I drooled.
That's why
Yeah. Like, oh, please back up. Please back up.
So it's Jen's Stitching Niche that I first saw the Erica's Michael.
Actually, Jen enables me to get a lot of pieces when I watch her videos.
She does. All righty, so let's talk some finishes.
Yes.
Nicole, do you have finishes that you've done that you're most proud of?
I had 2 finishes. So do you mean like recent finishes, or do you want me to show fully finished?
Let's start with your whatever.
Your favorite fully
finished.
finished.
Favorite fully finished? Okay,
Yes.
so I've got two. The first one is Bird Study.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is Kathy Barrick.
Mhm.
And this is the first time I ever used 36 count.
Ooh.
So that's why this one's special to me. It was actually meant to be stitched on 40 count, and I bought the 40 count and started it and was going to light something on fire. And so,
Yeah.
so I switched to 36 count. Sorry, we're really cloudy here today, and so I had to turn some lights on, so I think the glare is not going to be great for filming. But it's a lakeside linen. I can't remember the name of the color, but it's what's called for in the pattern. It's just 36 count instead of 40 count. But I just thought it was really sweet and super delicate. I really liked the colors. So I'm proud of this one just because it was my first 36 count.
Nice.
And what was the name of it again?
It's called Bird Study.
Bird Study.
Yeah.
Okay.
By Kathy Barrick.
Yes, by Kathy Barrick. I wish she would do some other studies. You know, it kind of looks like an old school, like biology study, and I wish.
Yeah, I like those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's that one, and then the second one I brought this is a primitive hair. It's called Trick or Treat Pumpkin.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
That's super cute. Look at that. He has character.
Yeah, he's really cute. There's supposed to be a border around it that I didn't include because I just wanted it to be, there was a lot of work that went into the pumpkin. This is stitched on the 30 count linen that she called for that I got from her. And I like this pattern for a couple of reasons. So about 2 years ago, I went to a little, we kind of made our own retreat. Me and Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail, Jen Stitching Niche, and Marlene from Stitching by the Lake. We kind of did our own little getaway at this really cute little house that had been converted into like a bed and breakfast. Well, I shouldn't say bed and breakfast because we made our own breakfast, but an old house that was converted into like a little, you could rent it.
Mm-hmm.
We stitched for a rainy weekend together, and I stitched on this the whole time. So when I think of this, I think of hanging out with them. It was the first time that I had met Marlene. We had all talked, but it was kind of like the first time we'd all met. And then the other reason I like it is because this frame is kind of dramatic for me. It's wide. First of all, it's like 3 inches wide, and it's not perfect. It's got big chunks out of it. And so when I take things to my framer, so when Keepsakes used to frame, I would just take things in and I would have an idea of what I wanted. And then Barbara, the owner, would say, or this one, or this one, or this one. And none of them would ever be the one that I thought I was going to like. And inevitably I would go with what she went because it's perfect. So now I have a new framer because they're not framing anymore. And I do the same thing. I go in and say, I'm kind of thinking of this kind of frame. And I, we'll pull something off the wall and she'll go, or this one, or this one, or this one. And it's like, I don't even know why I bother now. So when I came in, I had an idea for this one, and she, pulled this, and I was like, wow, that's a really wide, like it's hard to pick a frame when you're just seeing that little piece,
Yeah.
A big piece, and they put this little, this much or an L-shaped piece. And you think, I don't know how this is going to look when it's all done, and what's it going to cost?
Yeah.
But she said, well, it comes in a narrower one. So this frame came in like the 1.5 inch. And I thought, oh, just go with the big drama. You spent time on it, just go with it. What's going to happen if you hate it? And I loved it.
And the pumpkin looks kind of weathered and gone through some stuff. Yes. And also the frame as well.
Right.
Good choice.
Yeah. So I was really excited when she called me and said it was ready and then showed it to me. So so this was a pretty big piece for me to finish, and then it's got some special memories. And
that hat must have taken forever.
So once I outlined it, it kind of went fast.
Yeah.
Because it's variegated. That's my favorite black. It's carriage black. I don't know if you can see the variegation in it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Carriage black by Gast.
What I liked
so
about
I outlined it, just kind of zipped through.
What I liked about the fabric is that the pumpkin looks like it's floating on that.
Yeah.
And with a nice frame around it. It really is a nice piece.
It's a nice one, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
You have anything else?
No, those are the two I brought.
Okay. How about recent finishes?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have 2 this month, which is like shocking to me. Quarantine has been great for my stitching quota because normally it's like, I finished 1 or 2 things this year, but I think I'm up to like 6 or 8, which is shocking. So I finished this little thing.
Adorable.
Pretty cute. So it's a little Russian pattern. I think the name of the company, I would say it Alyssa, Alissa, but I don't know for sure how you pronounce it. There's a couple that are in this series. There's a hedgehog and a squirrel, but this one was super cute. And it's stitched on Ada, and I think it's DMC that comes with the kit. So he was a quick little stitch. And then the other one I finished is a Primrose Needleworks. I don't think this pattern is in print anymore because a couple people have asked me about it and I can't find it. It's called Autumn in New York.
Nice.
And it's cute. Lots of colors. I wish that the designer had done other seasons or other cities because I think it would have been really popular. But that one was fun to stitch. It took me a while to get into it for some reason. I don't know if all the color changes were kind of fiddly. But once I got going, I was able to move through it pretty quickly.
That is cute.
Yeah, that's really cute.
So that's it. That's 2 this month, which is like more than I typically have in a quarter.
I think you're right. This quarantine has been amazing for stitching.
Yeah. And organizing and throwing things away. You got to find the silver lining. So I'm charting all the things that are good about this and stitching and cleaning and decluttering. Yeah.
We're just catching up on Netflix,
Yeah.
You say
And
cleaning, I say watching,
They're close.
I
They're
say
real close.
stitching. and then you throw Mania in the month, and you're like, oh yeah, let's start everything.
Yeah. Okay, well, Gary, what are your finishes?
I finished another one of my berries, Sunshine Berry.
Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah, and this is over 1 letters on 32 count.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's on 32 Bramble from Bitches Plus. And actually, I changed the color on the center of the petals. It was supposed to be a DMC, but I didn't have it. So I thought this week's would look better. It's called Amber. Where's my camera? There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, much better than the plain. It gives it some more movement, I think.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Good. Very good.
Do you like stitching over 1?
Only if it's a small section and I can get through it really quick, but a whole big piece, no.
Yeah. I love the way it looks, but I don't enjoy doing it. I couldn't imagine doing a whole piece over 1.
Yeah, the whole piece is not over 1. It's just the letters.
Yeah.
I've actually spent the last 3 or 4 pieces, well, the letters that I'm working on, the Erica Michaels sampler book, the names for each specialty stitch is over 1.
Oh.
So
It is?
Yeah, the names like Algerian eyelet, diamond ray stitch, those are all stitched over 1.
But it seems to go pretty quick.
It does. It goes over. It does go fast, I think. And I've been working on my technique to help the stitches lie better and look better. And the whip I'll show you today has a lot of over 1. And I tell the difference from the experience of working on those letters and being able to bring that into this piece. So
yeah, that's what I find. Like if I would have done something like this over 1, to me it would look so lumpy for some reason. Like I've done that with the mirror's skin. I've done it over 1, and it just doesn't look right. But then when you stand away, it looks great.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're looking at it under magnification, and you're looking at every little stitch.
Right.
Yes. Every lump and bump.
Yeah. Okay, so is that your finishes, Gary?
That's my 1 finish.
Okay. EJ, any finishes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I had 1 finish, and it's technically not just my finish. Our friend Altamise and I finished the last piece that our friend Tilly was trying to, and I used to spend some time with her, and she had said many times that she really wanted to try to finish that piece, but she was not able to. So Misi and I finished that earlier this week, and I actually took it over to the cross stitch cupboard. She's doing curbside pickup. I did a curbside delivery. And ran into Gary and EJ, ran into Christine, who was picking something up. So we wound up having the 6 feet apart
Conversation.
How are
you over there?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
While we were there, the framer, Kathy, all these names, Kathy came in. And so we were able to select the frame for that piece, all in the parking lot. All 6.
Oh, that's fun.
It was fun. We were laughing, like, hey,
What can you do?
Yeah. But anyway, the piece was called Birdhouse Sampler. Birdhouse Sampler by Prairie School. Prairie School Sampler? Is that the name?
Prairie Schooler?
Prairie Schooler. I wrote it down wrong. Prairie Schooler. And it's an old piece published in 1994. It had come out of her stash, and she said that she really had wanted to finish it. And it was such a pleasure. So I sent a picture to Gary so that he can insert it here. So you all can see it. So that was finished by Altamise and I got Altamise's permission to show it. And it's going to go into our big celebration.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was my finish. It's technically not my finish, but it was a finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's move on to anybody have any starts?
Well, this was a start and a whip. So.
Oh, okay.
It was a start, a whip, and a finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a start.
Thursday.
It's called what? Thursday?
Started Thursday.
No one wants to hear that, Gary.
Yeah.
I
needed a finish.
I can send you some of my stuff, Gary.
Right? I started Pineapple by Vervico.
Yes.
Wasn't that part of your artistry style?
I'm sorry?
Wasn't that part of your style?
It's part of my... Remember when Hobby Lobby had a massive sale? It's called a Hobby Lobby sale or Hobby Lobby SAL.
It was really long.
Hashtag it Hobby Lobby sale. So people in the sale sites were like, what is all this cross stitch about? But it's Hobby Lobby SAL, I think. Or something like that. I don't know. So this is the pineapple. I already did the pear. I finished the pear.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. So I'm working on the pineapple right now. And I have 209 stitches. I know it's 209 stitches because it went into a challenge. That's it.
Ooh, wow.
That's it. Woo, right?
Yeah.
So that's my start.
That's pretty. That's going to be nice and bright. I know the picture looks bright, but that's what is that? Is that a DMC?
Oh, it's I'm sure it's a DMC. It's a kit. The whole thing is a kit.
Okay.
Yeah.
The color is really nice.
It is.
Yeah, I love the. Yeah, I do really like it. And one day, I'll put it in my kitchen, along with the pear.
Oh, very good.
One day.
Very good. Very good.
It's done. So right now, after I'm putting this away and putting it over there, and then I'll pick it up again some other time.
In when it's called for to answer or something.
Or in the future, something.
Okie dokie. Whips. Nicole, what are you working on right now?
I got 2. So one of my goals this year was to try to cut down the number of projects that I have going. So I'm trying to work on stuff that I already have going.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought I was going to try Mania, and that screwed stuff up. So I had a very serious talk with myself about just focusing. So I've got 2.
How did the talk go?
It went well.
No crying involved?
There was no crying.
Okay, good, good.
I'm a Gemini, and my mom calls it the Gemini sickness because there's always two of us talking. So
Yes.
yeah, we're all on the same page now. The first one I'm working on is a wordplay. It's May. Wordplay.
Oh yeah, I like those.
And I started this one, I think 2 years ago. It was my birthday start. And this is as far as I've gotten. I don't know why I can't get into this one.
It may be the direction of the words. That threw me for a while till I got used to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind color changing. So I don't know if it's just all the color changes or if it's the colors. You know, I went with the called for colors, but that doesn't mean that the dye lot that I had in my stash is what really is what's looking on the picture. So I don't know. I really want to get it done. I thought I would do a bunch of them, but after this one, I don't know if I'm going to do. I like to look at them. I like some of the motifs that are in a lot of them, but I don't know if I want to do all of them.
And let's see it again.
Yeah.
What are you stitching it on?
It's on a 36 count fabric, but I can't remember what it is. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. Sorry.
So are you a 36 count person?
I like 36 a lot. I usually do 32, but I've done quite a few on 36 count, and I like it. I
know that your bird study was your first 36, so you remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this, yeah. And I did a few that I kind of forgot that they were 36 when I was working on them, and did them with 2 strands. And it still came fine. I think depending upon the fabric, sometimes you can get away with 2 strands. This one's 1 over 1. So, I mean, again, in theory, it should be going faster, and I feel like I should be getting into it and finishing. I don't know why I'm not.
Yeah.
But,
on the ones I've done, I've changed the fabric to a little bit brighter green, or like I think the February one I did like on the pink, and the March one I did on a blue. And I still used her colors, but I think I liked it a little bit better. Didn't look as muddy as brown on brown.
yeah, I feel like I may have to go back
with the color.
Yeah.
So you would start it again?
No, I think I might. Like this little dog, I don't even know if you can see him.
Gotcha.
Like in real life, his color looks like he's peach. There's no peach dogs.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if it's just the dye lot of the threads I have or the fabric. The fabric that was called for was 35 count Abecedarian linen by R&R, and that's not what that is. It's a 36 count something that I had in my stash. So I don't know if that would make a difference if I'd gone with something a little bit lighter, but I may change a couple colors out, like go back and change the dog and go back and change. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I just finished March.
Yeah.
Wordplay, and of the called for colors, I think it was like 13, 12 called for colors. I had 5 of them, so I just wound up substituting all over the place. And I found that as I continued to stitch on it, I would get to a motif, decide that I did not like that color, and I would just swap it out and put something else in there. And so it looks nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the colors are a lot different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different. I like it. It's much brighter.
Yeah, it is. It's bright. Yeah. I think, once I start stitching it at night, I'm sitting down and I'm stitching and I get to a color I don't like. I don't have the motivation to get up and start digging through all the colors. And so I just put it aside and pick something else up. So it'll get there. It'll get there. The other one I'm working on is a Luminous Fiber Arts, a Raven's Reply.
Ooh,
I like that one.
Yeah, and this one's from my sister. She actually picked the pattern out. I'm stitching this on, that's where I am.
Oh, wow.
I'm stitching this on this is a 36 count. It's called Scarecrow. It's by Dixie Samplers, which I really, really like this fabric. She only sells now on a Facebook page. And I'm not on Facebook, so I don't have access to her fabrics, which part of my Gemini is like, oh, good, you won't have time, you won't be able to spend money on it. And the other part of my Gemini is like, oh, I'm missing out on those fabrics. I don't know if you can see it in this lighting. It's yellow, but it's kind of, it's not a bright yellow.
That pumpkin is gorgeous.
So
I love the pattern stitched in there
that she called for, but I switched them. So she calls for, this is sweet potato. This dark orange is supposed to be in the pumpkin with one of the other oranges. And I just like the way these two looked better together. So I just switched them and put the darker one on the border. I like that much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Nice.
with this color fabric, it works pretty well.
Yes.
And this is over 1 too, so it's going really fast.
Yeah. Very nice. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. The idea of switching the colors like that, because putting that darker color in the border just brings your eye right into the center of it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to happen until I got pretty far on that border the other night, and I kind of held it away, and I thought, oh, this looks pretty good.
Well, and also I think it highlights the pumpkin more because you put that lighter color in there. So then the other stitching actually pops more.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll just have that finished into a little pillow. My sister wants a couple little Halloween things that she can kind of tuck into a bowl or something. So I'll just have it made into a little pillow.
I know you were making a bigger piece for your sister. Did you ever finish that?
That Christmas one?
I
I finished her Christmas one, that big Christmas ball, the big ornament that was like.
Yes.
I finished that like the day before I was going to see her to give it to her. Yeah, she was super thrilled with it. And I said, good, because I'm not doing a big one again for like 2 years.
Yeah, those patterns are really big from
And
Alice Adelaide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done 4 of hers. And once you get into them, they go fast because they're usually just 1 or 2 colors, but it's getting into the, because there's lots of swirl and design, and it's kind of training your brain to read the pattern of not straight lines. And then it goes pretty quickly. But yeah, for the past couple of years, I've done a big piece for my sister for Christmas. And I told her last year, I was like, you're getting some small stuff because I need a break. I need to not have a deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EJ, what about your whips?
Oh, my whips. Is that okay? I stitched on Unconditional Love.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
By the Bay Needle Art. So last time we met, it was like up to here with the green. I finished this leaf and I'm working on this leaf. There's a bud that goes here and then it goes all like down.
Yeah,
then it goes
fabric is
up.
that fabric's really looking good with the greens.
Oh, nice. You see it?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it. It's
Nice.
really.
It was worth the hours of frogging.
And I was a witness to part of it. All you saw was the top of EJ's head.
I was focused. I was hyper focused.
Hey, there's no such thing as free fabric, right?
That's true. So this is Unconditional Love by the Bay.
All right.
Also, maybe, I don't know if I worked on her or not, but this is where I don't think I worked on her after. No. Because, I was like, not this week. Not this week, Mother Moon. So I focused on this one because it does have a deadline and a little bit of the pineapple.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Gary, did you have any other whips that you worked on?
Yes, I was still working on my the cats piece. This guy got finished.
Yes.
And then I started working on the drums here. I got a big drum and I got this head on. I always do their heads last, and then there's
amazing.
Then there's going to be a cat over here with a saxophone, and then it'll be done.
I really love that fabric color that you chose.
The fabric chain.
Yeah, this is a 32 count kaleidoscope from Handed by Stephanie.
Nice.
But look at his, he's like a little beat neck, right?
Yeah.
Little beard and everything.
Yeah, is that a
really
beard?
Love this. This is one of my favorite pieces.
Let me see a beard.
It's a cat with a beard.
Yeah.
That's
He's
crazy.
got his sunglasses on. Yeah.
Oh, that's the beard, and the beard is coming out. Oh. Yeah. Okay. A beard.
This is one of my favorite pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm glad they re-released them, so it's nice that they're available again.
So who has haul?
I
didn't do my whips.
No.
Yeah.
There goes that agenda.
Yeah.
So this is one of my Mania, pull back a little bit.
Oh, your non-travel travel piece?
Yeah, this was a piece that I actually worked on when I did my South American cruise in January. And at the time I was able, all I had was
7 half stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. We all remember that. Not even a full stitch.
Yeah, 7 half stitches. And so on the cruise, I finished all of this and pretty much all of this, and I had 2 coffee beans for the handle in.
Okay.
So this week, and my Mania goal is to finish pieces that are close. Like if I just put in several real focus days, I could get them done.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So this week I finished the handle here.
I love the coffee bean handle.
Yes, and then these words here, which are kind of types of coffee, which is what all of this is, like coffee drinks or types of coffee bean. And then stitch. Now this is where the crazy over 1 comes in, because this is a mix of full crosses and over 1 stitches to get the curvature of the letters.
Oh, okay.
And then you backstitch around. So this one, Java, this is actually a V, even though it looks weird. So the J and the A have been pretty much backstitched, so you can see how pronounced these are. And I made a mistake. So the whole thing is 3371 with a little bit of 814. I think you could see a little bit of red, like in here. Then there are little bits of red. The whole thing was called for 814. It was supposed to be red.
Oh no.
Made no sense to me whatsoever.
No. Yeah.
Coffee's not red.
No. Well, the beans are red, actually.
The beans are red before you roast them.
Yeah.
I don't need them before they're roasted. There's nothing I can do with it.
And one thought I had was to do this handle in red, do the actual beans in red. But when I actually did a bean and decided I did not like that much red, I thought it was kind of abrupt to all of a sudden have all that red here. So I just kept it to, there are these little bits of pops of red in it that I kept, like this underline here, and that's it. But somewhere along the way, I used up all of the 3371 I had, and I said, okay, let's go get some more. I reached in and I had a cone. So I just reached in, grabbed a cone, sat down and started stitching, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if there was a dye lot change. I convinced myself that now I'm working from a cone, right? Why would there be a dye lot change in a cone? But see, I can make up these real good stories in the middle of
and then start believing it.
Oh, I was totally believing it until I finally realized I had picked up 310.
That is a big dye lot change.
Yeah, that was a huge dye lot change.
You must be a good storyteller.
Seriously?
It's a project with 2 colors, right?
It's not even a brown?
Red and brown.
I can make myself believe anything.
But it looks good.
It does actually kind of look good. So I would say, well, you know what? I finished this one in 310 as well. So again, I'm pretending.
Okay.
But it will be backstitched with the 33s. The whole thing will be backstitched with the 3371 to pull it together. So
okay.
And the beans, all these beans have to be backstitched.
Oh.
Wow.
So that's what I'm doing now, is just the backstitching. So this should be finished this week. I should have this finished.
What are you stitching it on?
Something that was in my stash. It's a 28 count something. It was a piece that I've had for a long time. I mean, this is an old piece of fabric. I could tell from the plastic bag that it was still in. A lot of my fabric is not kept in fabric. It's just folded and placed in a drawer. But this one was still in a plastic bag. So yeah, I don't know. But it's a 28 count, which I'm glad since I had all that over one to do. So my travel piece will be finished at home. The other,
Well, you can finish it up in lanai or living room, or porta dining room,
Porta Yarda.
and then I worked some more on Death by Cross Stitch. I actually brought this border down a lot further, particularly this. I decided since it's going to go on for days, I might as well just keep stitching on it. And when I get down to here, I'll stop when I get down into in here. And when I move the snaps, I'll pick up and work some more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're gonna do you're not gonna do all the borders first now. You're just gonna do a corner and work on it?
It had to do with the thread length that I happened to have. And when I started a new thread, I was just not in the mood to tackling the design that starts in here. So I said, why don't you just mindless stitching, just do that.
While watching Masked Singer.
Watertown.
Okay.
So Masked Singer, I mean, I've started sending EJ texts during Masked Singer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think now this week is the final, so you pretty much have missed the whole season. So if you have not watched The Masked Singer, it is so much fun. The performances are amazing. The reveals are like...
loves. Do not disturb her at that time. Wednesdays at 8. She's not picking up the phone. She may text you, but she is not picking up the phone.
That is so true. So true. But with Fox, I think, had a little bit of a challenge with content because of all the shows that had to stop production, and so have been delayed in coming online. Like some of their summer stuff that they started in May has been a little pushed back. They gave The Masked Singer an extra hour. They call it the after party.
Okay.
She's there for that too.
Come in via Zoom. They have these an audience, a Zoom audience of 100 viewers. I mean, the whole thing is pretty neat. But they interview a lot of people. But they have this guy. His name is Dr. Elvis. I had to Google Dr. Elvis. Let me tell you something about Dr. Elvis.
Tell us.
Elvis can sing. The man has a voice, but the man is handsome as all get out. Dr. Elvis, my new heartthrob. I tell you, and I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, I wonder if EJ is watching this, because Dr. Elvis is right up your I'm telling you. You got to watch Dr. Elvis.
Oh.
Gary's like, let's get back to the stitching. Why don't we?
Yeah, I thought this was Flosstube.
I'll check out Dr. Elvis.
No, we were plugging NBC.
No,
Fox.
Oh, it's all the same. I don't watch it. I watch Flosstube. Paul, I Paul.
Oh.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I got this piece of fabric from Seraphine. She was doing her misfits, she called them.
Oh.
That's cute.
It's a 40 count. And she sells them on Facebook, but she's got a website too that she sells other. I don't know if she does misfits on there. So I think it's going to be perfect for Miss Mary Mack.
What's the name of the fabric? Is that Oaken?
No, there's no name because it's called Misfit, number 22. And it's a 40 count. So I'm going to do it with the new Witching Hour, and I'm going to put Miss Mary Mack on there.
Oh, nice.
And I think it looks really creepy, like some nursery rhyme.
It does.
And then, of course, I got my bag for the summer quaker.
Yes.
It's already completely filled, isn't it?
I get Summer Quaker already. I'm ready for the stitch on the 20th.
Of June.
20th of June.
Yeah.
Yes. Sheila's got to correct me. See, I mean, these colors I'm looking forward to.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not much of a pink guy, but I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah. All righty. Nicole, what's your haul? Do you have any?
I actually do. So I had 2 goals this year. One goal was finish all your stuff, and the other one was stop buying stuff. And I've done pretty well. That's why my recent videos are not very long, because I just don't have anything to show. But I did buy a couple things. I bought on Etsy, I bought these little library cards.
Yes.
Okay.
Aileen, so grateful, showed these in a video for keeping like little scraps of fabric that you don't have a way to identify anymore on these. So I got these on Etsy. They're not as thick as, I mean, I think they're reprints. They're not real library cards, but they don't need to be thick. So I had a little scrap of fabric left over. So I just wrote what it was and what count it was and a couple projects that I used it for, just to kind of have a reference to toss in my little bin so that I can keep track of the fabrics that I like for future reference. So I bought those, and then I just bought 2 patterns this week. Am I allowed to show pictures on my phone, Gary?
Yeah. Yes,
You,
please.
as long as you send me the photos.
Okay. Yeah. So Teresa Kogut is doing some patterns, and the proceeds of them go to different brick and mortar LNS in the community. So I don't know how she went about picking the 15. I don't know if she just like randomly drew or if there was some kind of a contest, but she's done 2 so far. She did one for Keepsakes, which is my LNS here in Cincinnati. And then she did one for Julie's shop, Reflections in Omaha, Nebraska. So I bought both of those, and I do think that I'll stitch them. I bought a pattern earlier this year. Some designer was doing them for charity, and I bought it, but I'm not going to stitch it. I just did it for the charity. But these 2, I think I will stitch. So you have to buy them on Teresa's Etsy site, which I can't think of what her shop is called. I think it's just her name, Teresa Kogut. I'll get you the information, Gary, if you want to put it on there. But this is the one that's the piece for Keepsakes. So they're $10. They're PDF only, and all the proceeds between now and the end of the year go to Keepsakes of this pattern.
Is that a goat or a cow?
I think it's a baby goat.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's on a pedestal.
Brian tried to convince me that it was a sheep and that it was a cow. And I was like, which one of us knows animals? Not a cow.
Not a
I
penguin.
didn't know either.
Well, we're not supposed to, Gary. I don't know if he's on a pedestal or if that's supposed to be a little bee-skep. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh.
But I think I'll probably just stitch the little goat with the little flower in his mouth. So that's Keepsakes pattern. And then this is Julie's pattern for Reflections. And I just love it because she's got
that one's so
red
cool.
shirt on. It says Girl Boss in the corner.
That's
cute.
really
Cute. It's big though. It's kind of a full coverage. The background's not stitched, but her hair and the
yeah.
So they don't have a specific, when you go to her website, they don't have a specific title that lets you know that they're the shop one, but I think she calls them, in the description, she calls them like whimsical patterns or something. And then if you read the item details, it'll tell you in there what shop it supports. Oh. And as of Wednesday, it was just these 2 that she'd had up so far.
Okay. We'll look it up. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Cute stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have. That's a lot for me.
Yeah.
EJ.
I have.
Oh, it was delivered?
It was delivered.
Wow, that was snail mail.
But look at this.
Trying.
So cute. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I have a question. I'm asking everyone: what color, what brand and color of the thread attached do you think it is?
It's DMC 917. I'm not sure. I don't know.
No.
It's DMC. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you. You have to look it up.
Oh.
I call it Gary Green.
Well, I know you gave us your list of Gary Green colors.
Every green is called Gary
how
Green.
cute. It matches the flower. That's super cute. Okay, and I also have my fabric of the month for Under the Sea Fabrics. This is stone washed.
Ooh.
Is that a blue or a gray?
Yes, it's a blue. You see a red?
No, it looks like gray.
But it's a blue with gray, I think. Right, like right here would be gray.
Okay.
Here is like blue.
Is that Lugana?
It is, yes. No, it's linen? I keep buying linen.
Good.
32 count linen.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
that is all.
Okay.
My haul.
I don't have any haul. Okay. Announcements. Nicole, talk to us about your Flosstube channel.
Oh, geez. I don't know what to tell you. So like I said earlier, the videos this year have been pretty short because I just
Wait. What's the name of your Flosstube channel?
Buckeye Stitcher.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot the format.
And what's your favorite color thread again? What's it called?
So there's a rumor going around that Buckeye Scarlet is my favorite red, but I don't know that I have a favorite red. That got started at StitchCon, that rumor. I like Buckeye Scarlet, but I don't know if it's my favorite. I like Cherry Cobbler. I like Red Rocks. Red is my favorite color, but I don't know if I have a specific favorite red. So my videos this year have been kind of short because I haven't had a ton of stuff to show that I've bought. So to try and kind of spice things up, the last couple of videos I went through my fabric stash because, you know, when you start watching Flosstube and you start finding out about other dyers and designers and shops, and, you know, different shops carry different styles of patterns and different types of fabric. So I kind of went on this crazy, I have to have all this fabric because you know, if I want to start something, I just want to be able to go into my little bin and get a piece. Well, now I have these two big bins of all the neutrals and all the colors. So I did 2 different videos of showing all my fabric, which seemed to get pretty good, you know, reviews. I'm sure some people were like, okay, enough with this. We know you like gray fabric. Like, how much fabric do you need? But,
you know, it's really hard to pick a good gray fabric.
It is because you either get too much blue or too much green or too much purple. So I showed all my grays, and then somebody asked me, so which one was your favorite gray? And I was like, oh God. So I think in my next video, I'm going to go through all the grays and pick which one I think is my favorite. Just for some fun to do. Yeah. So I try to do them once a month. I've done a few extra ones this year just because I've had more time, and I have had a few more finishes than normal. So I've done a few extras, but I typically do them once a month at the end of the month.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we know that you are a veterinarian.
That's correct.
And so you've been working throughout this period.
Yes.
And we doing the curbside handoff and pickup.
What's that?
Have you all been doing the curbside handoff and pickup?
Yeah. So we've reduced hours just because for a while we were only allowed to see, injured, sick patients. And so in order to try to reduce the number of people standing around at the building, we reduced our hours. So I'm still working on some reduced hours, even though we've been able to open back up. Because you can't go back to normal right now. You know, you can't go back to having a full lobby and double booking to get, to squeeze people in to get things done. You have to space it out. So, we're still figuring out our new normal, but I'm thankful that I'm still working for sure.
Yes. I've had several vet visits over the last 3 weeks, and I have to say the curbside drop off and pickup is a fascinating experience from the pet parent side, because you just sort of roll up, and I usually put the pet carrier in the back. I drive an SUV, so it's in the back, and jump out and open up the lift gate, the door. And then all the communication is done over the phone, and then somebody comes out and picks up and puts my pet back into the back of the car. It's kind of an interesting experience for sure.
Yeah, some people are fine with it. They're fine to just drop off and go, and other people are really, really anxious about it, and I get it. I mean, it's, when you're used to being right there, knowing what's happening, and then to not be there, it can be a little troubling for some people, but for the most part, people get it, and they're cooperative.
Yeah, my girls don't like the curbside pickup. They don't want someone coming in the car reaching for them. They want to come out and do their thing and bark when they walk in the door, let everyone know they're there.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so Gary, do you have any announcements?
I wanted to thank everyone for all the I don't know if you're in the Guy Run group, you saw Ronnie Lane with all the packages. It's a typical PayPal. You schedule them for 7 a.m. What do? They send them out the day before 7 p.m. then they duplicate a couple, not all of them. There's no rhyme or reason, but we worked through it. Everyone was really good, and all the invoices shipped yesterday, and we were like Johnny on the spot. So thank everybody for support, and I can't wait till we start stitching on this great project. Excellent. I mean, Rosewood Manor makes some great patterns.
Yeah. EJ, do you have any announcements?
I don't have any announcements, no.
Okie dokie. So let's talk plans.
Let's talk plans.
Nicole, what do you have coming up?
So I think I'm going to do another birthday start.
Happy birthday.
My birthday's next Thursday, and I think I'm going to start this Madame Chantilly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cute.
Yes.
I was looking for that this morning. I think I want to start that. I was looking for that.
You have the same pattern?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to make her coat red, though, because I'm not a big fan of yellow. So
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's gray in that pattern, right?
Yeah, there is gray. So, so here's why I haven't decided if I'm really going to do this or not, because this calls for a natural linen, I think. And I'm like, well, that's not what it looks like in the picture. It needs to look like it does in the picture. So I'm going to have to, and they're all DMC threads. So I'm going to pull all the threads and then pull out all the grays, all those gray fabrics and figure out, because I don't want to do it. I don't think I want to do it on a hand dyed, because I don't think I want a bunch of modeling to take away from, I mean, there's a lot of busy stuff with all these cats. So I'm going to have to find a gray that's a little, like just a plain color.
Yeah, not as modeled.
Yes. But she calls for this. It's called Cats in the Rain. It's by Madame Chantilly, and it calls for 36 count, I think, natural. Yeah, natural linen.
Okay.
Are you gonna change the cats to make them look like your cats?
No.
That's a lot of work.
Well, because here's why. So I have a gray one, and there is a gray one, and then the other ones are all black and white, and there are 2 black and white ones on here. So yeah, I mean, if you've watched any of my videos and have ever seen me change colors, it's always a fiasco, because I can't just say, here's this red, because there's 18 reds that I think we have to try with this one and this one. And so it just makes too much work. I can't just leave things be. So I'm just going to go with the colors, as long as there's not some kind of crazy, egregious flaw when I put up against whatever fabric.
Got it.
I figured picking a gray fabric will be enough of a challenge. I'm not going to change the thread.
Well, and I think gray is perfect for that, because it's in the rain.
Yeah. And that could be like one of your videos, like, kit with me, or because you're going to have your grays out anyway to pick your favorite. So pick your favorite, and I'm going to use this for that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So even though we had a discussion and we weren't going to do any more Mania starts, I'm going to start this for my birthday, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I tried Mania starts. That little tiny bunny was my first Mania start. I got it done, and I was like, I can do this Mania thing. And then I started another thing this past Sunday. It's a giant kit. Like, the pattern is literally this big, blown up. And I was like, no, why are you doing this? You said you weren't going to have any starts. I don't know.
You said we had a discussion.
Yeah, we had a discussion. The Geminis had a discussion.
The Geminis,
like,
we.
No,
I understand that. I have a committee.
And they don't always get along.
They don't. They don't.
Sickness.
Yes, yes. EJ, what are your plans?
I'm gonna be working on. I think I'm gonna pull out Mother Moon again, and then I'm gonna work on Unconditional Love. And I have a new start. I have to do a new start today because it's the weekend.
Yeah.
So I have like 3 more to pick from. So I'm just gonna. I don't know which store I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna pick.
Very good.
Start. Yeah.
Okay. Gary?
I'm going to stitch on this guy a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then I probably will throw in a berry. And then I know last week we talked, Deb and I was going to start Halloween Quaker.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't start it last week. She said maybe this week, so we'll see.
It depends on what gets spun, right?
Yeah, we're at the mercy of the wheel. And I'm like, every couple of days, I'm like, pick.
Yeah.
so otherwise, we'll just wait and see.
Yeah.
All right. My plan is to finish the coffee. Oh, I forgot to say that coffee is by Illuminating.
Yeah, they have a lot of
Imaginating.
Yeah. In Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
What's her name?
I don't know. I just know her company is not far from here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Huh. So I'm going to finish that. Maybe put in another day on Long Dog. Oh, there he is.
Hey. Yeah, see, we got hat hair today. He's got a hat on. Hair day.
Hair day. Oh.
And my allergies are just giving me the fits between my eyes, my nose. I'm just, blah. So imaginating, let's do coffee, Long Dog, and I think I'll do a new start. I'm definitely going to do something with cats, a new start. I'm not sure.
A stitch along.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of gray fabric you can find.
First, I have to find it. That,
Yeah, that could be a little different.
Yeah. To see if I find it within my toleration span.
Yeah.
And there's so much that I can
do. More like this?
Yeah, it tends to do like this. And then I just said, screw it. What do I have that's out here already? So
yeah.
So those are my plans.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that we did not cover? I'm looking through all of my notes.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I think we did it.
I think we've said it all.
I think we've said it all.
And don't forget,
no matter where you are,
the sun is always shining when you're stitching.
Bye.
Bye.